In this video, we'll explore Affinity Publisher's interface, showing you where all the major tools and functionality can be accessed from. When you first launch the application, you'll be presented with the new document dialog. Here, you can set your page orientation and choose a default page size, or set a custom page size. Switching between the tabs here, I can customize my document by choosing the number of pages it will contain, whether to enable facing pages, setting the document's color space, and defining the document's margins and bleed. Additionally, you can use the new document dialog to manage your Affinity account, open a document, access recent documents, load template files, and access sample documents to explore example workflows. I'll choose to open a recent document. The document opens in what we refer to as the document view, which occupies the middle of the interface. I can use the scroll bar at the side of the document view to navigate through the document, or scroll with the mouse wheel. I can also hold the middle mouse button in and move the mouse to pan around the document view. On the left, we have the Tools panel. This contains all of the tools that we can use to interact directly with the content on our document view. For example, we have the Move and Node tools, two different text tools, the Frame Text tool and Artistic Text tool, the Pen tool, and the Picture Frame tools. Certain tools have a small triangle icon in the bottom right. These denote tool groups, where you can click and hold to reveal other tools in the group. Alternatively, you can double-click on the tool to reveal the tool group, or you can precision-click on the triangle icon. Notice that when I select a tool from the Tools panel, the context toolbar up here changes to reflect the tool that I'm using. For instance, if I select the Frame Text tool, the context toolbar changes to display text options, allow me to make changes to the font and text size, assign text styles, or set the text frame's justification. If I select the Pen tool, the context toolbar now displays options pertaining to the Pen tool, allow me to set the pen's fill and stroke, and define the node type and behavior. The majority of the tools on the Tools panel have a corresponding keyboard shortcut, allowing you to quickly change between different tools. For instance, pressing V on the keyboard switches my current tool to the Move tool. Similarly, I can press H on my keyboard to switch to the View tool. These are both useful shortcuts to memorize, as the Move tool allows you to move and transform objects, whilst the View tool allows you to click, drag, and pan around your document. With any tool selected, you can hold the Option key when using the mouse wheel to zoom in and out on Mac, or on Windows, you can hold the Control key whilst using the mouse wheel. Additionally, to fit your active page or spread to screen, you can use Command+0 on Mac or Control+0 on Windows. Either side of the document view, we have the left and right studios. These studios are used to contain panels which offer a variety of functionality. The default panel layout was designed to offer functionality typical for a desktop publishing workflow. For instance, in the left studio, we have the Pages panel, and this allows us to manage our pages and master pages. Also in the left studio, we have the Assets panel, where you can store elements again for later use, and the Stock panel, that we can use to search for images and vector designs to import into our document. In the right studio, we have the Color panel, Swatches panel, and Stroke panel. These panels allow us to manage and apply specific colors and stroke settings to elements throughout our document. Below, we have the Layers panel. Layers in Affinity Publisher are individual to each page or spread. The Layers panel will update when selecting different pages throughout a document. For instance, if I navigate to another page and select it, we can see the Layers panel updates to display the layers directly associated to this page. Next to the Layers panel, we have a series of panels that offer advanced text functionality. We have the Character panel, the Paragraph panel, and the Text Style panel. We can use these panels to carry out specific text formatting and modifications. We can choose to save this formatting by creating a paragraph or character text style, allowing us to apply this formatting to other text elements in our document quickly and efficiently. Below the Layers panel, we have the Transform panel, the Navigator panel, and the History panel. The Transform panel allows us to make precision numerical adjustments to objects. The Navigator panel provides us with another way to navigate our current page or spread. And the History panel allows us to go back and forth through the document's undo history. There are other panels that you can access via the Window menu. For example, I'll select Window and scroll down to Books. The Books panel will appear in the left studio by default. Panels can be easily dragged out of a panel group and floated, and resized horizontally and vertically. Floating panels can be docked again. So for example, I'll drag the Layers panel and offer it to this panel group, then release the mouse button once I have it positioned. The top menu contains various important options. Application settings can be found in the App Title menu if you're on Mac OS, or under the Edit menu on Windows. The File menu contains options to save or export your document. This includes an option that allows you to save the document as a package file, collating any linked resources and fonts used in the file. You can also export your document to a different format, such as PDF or as a template. The Document Setup menu can also be found here, and this allows you to edit your current document's page dimensions, change its units of measurements, and enable or disable facing pages. The Text menu contains options relating to the text menu within our document, allowing you to insert fields, define text wrap settings, and insert other text elements such as a table of contents or an index. The Layers menu contains options such as adjustment layers, providing you with a method of editing images directly in Publisher. It also contains options to convert objects, allowing you to convert shapes and objects to picture frames, curves, and text frames. The View menu provides us with a range of options to show or hide bleed, margins, guides, and grids, alongside other design aids. These design aids can be toggled on or off separately, or by toggling the Preview Mode option. The Preview Mode option can be toggled on or off by selecting the Preview Mode icon found here on the toolbar. Additionally, the View menu contains options that let you configure the toolbar, which runs across the top of the application, and the Tools, which refers to the Tools panel on the left. As we saw earlier, the Window menu lets you show or hide various panels that contain different functionality. It also allows you to access the Resource Manager, which helps us to maintain linked and embedded resources. To find out more about linked and embedded resources and how to use the Resource Manager, you can see the YouTube tutorial called Linked and Embedded Resources. Also on the toolbar are options for text wrapping, baseline grid, snapping, and your alignment options. Finally, in the top left-hand corner, we have 3 different coloured icons. They represent different personas and are sometimes referred to as StudioLink. If you own Affinity Photo and/or Affinity Designer, you can use personas to gain access to functionality from these applications directly inside Publisher. The Publisher persona, which we are already in, gives us access to the desktop publishing tools that we explored earlier. Selecting the Designer persona changes the workspace and tools to reflect a vector-based workflow. For instance, we now have access to vector tools, such as the Vector Pencil tool, the Knife tool, and the Shape Builder tool. Selecting the Photo persona changes the tools and the workspace to assist you with a raster or pixel-based workflow, displaying the same tools you find in Affinity Photo. For instance, we now have access to the Selection Brush tool, the Flood Select tool, the Clone Brush tool, and retouching tools, as well as adjustment layers and live filter layers. We can move freely between these personas at any time by clicking on the relevant icons. Finally, it's worth noting that pressing Tab on the keyboard hides the entire user interface, allowing you to focus on your document view without any distractions. If you've accidentally pressed this and are wondering how to restore the interface, simply press Tab to bring everything back. So that was an overview of Affinity Publisher's user interface. I hope you found this interesting, and thank you for watching.